Hello, today I'll be going over some of the differences that are in the collector's edition of Maison Ikkoku manga and the original edition. Now, I did get this one recently online, and I got this at the library. So the first thing is that we'll notice, of course, the size and the cover. Now with this one, you do see a much more stylized title. But with this one, you see a little bit more personality. You can see the clock of Maison Ikkoku. You can also see a little picture of Soichiro in there. There's also a lot more saturation in the color on the right as on the left. Now, as soon as we open it up, you can see, as you would expect, there's some advertising for a different manga. And this is what we're greeted with, which looks a lot like this picture here. We have the table of contents. And now this is something that is probably the main change, is that this one doesn't have as many chapters in it. Because as you can see here, well, first off, you have this really nice picture that spans both pages. Very well done. And you have the original picture of the comic, as it would be individual comic and not in a volume. You have these really nice pictures here. Very beautiful. Well drawn. I'm not sure where they got these from, but they're very well drawn. And I love the art style in them. Now you can see here, this is mostly the same. They just enlarged it. But, as I was saying earlier, this includes more chapters. So, the previous one ends in chapter 10, Fenced Out. So this adds an additional 16 chapters. And also the titles are slightly different. Don't Fence Me Out. Now, while I was flipping through, I did notice that a lot of the fonts in the collector's edition have been slightly altered. Now, if we can see here, we're on page 30. Let's see if we can find that same panel on page 30. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, say Honey Bunch. Let's take that for example. See? That's not just the bubbles spacing and font, but it's also some of the words that's used. I've actually not seen this panel specifically before, and just how much it changed. But instead of hello up there, she'll say hello Honey Bunch, or hey Honey Bunch in the other one. Say Honey Bunch. And even what Goda is saying. So a lot of the original writing is changed in the collector's edition, and I'm not sure why they might have done this. Maybe they got in contact with Rumiko and asked her, hey, is there a better way that you think that the characters should convey what they're saying? And maybe it was under her blessing that these speech bubbles were changed slightly. And I hope that's the case, because it sure would be a shame if they altered the original dialogue without Rumiko's approval. See here on the back, we have a nice little summary, and here we have much more minimalistic yet elegant picture. So yeah, that's about everything. In case you were curious, these last 6 chapters are included in the original volume 2 of Maison Ikkoku, which I happen to have right here. And unfortunately, I don't have the collector's edition 2, but we can see here that the first 6 chapters, slightly different titles, but these are the same 6 chapters that are included here at the very end. This is just so nice. I love these colored pictures. Yeah. So pink telephone instead of 1-900 trouble. And personally, I really like how this volume caps it off. For anyone who's seen the anime, you may remember the episode where Kyoko is getting a lot of phone calls from a bunch of different girls that are asking for Godai. And she gets incredibly jealous. And then Godai ends up explaining to her where all these phone calls are coming from at the end of the episode. And Kyoko is just kind of listening without saying a word. And at the end he goes, "Are you still listening?" And she just goes, "Yes." There's a smile on her face, and just all of her jealousy goes away, and it's just such a sweet moment. And this is that scene right here. Definitely a nice way to cap off Volume 1, because you see just how much her emotions for Godai have developed. Meanwhile, the original Volume 1, you can see here a lot of ads as well. See, for other mangas. Oh, there's Inuyasha. The original manga caps it off with... Oh man, I don't remember this episode too well, but let's see which one this is. Looks like it's the one where... Okay, they're going on a date. And then Kyoko comes back really late from the date. Oh, yes, okay. So this is the one where Godai... I guess he completely hits the fence, smacks his face against it. Yeah, so I think this was a good episode. Maybe I don't remember it too well right now, but definitely not as powerful of an episode to cap off this volume as the one that they chose here. And of course, they have more room here to work with, so I definitely agree with that change. As for everything else, I really love all the colored full pages that they include here before each of the chapters. And actually, it looks like the only colored ones that they include is at the very beginning. But I still really enjoy that. Whichever one you guys have, feel free to let me know in the comments. And I thought I'd make this video since there's not a lot going on of people, telling the differences. But I hope you enjoyed, and take care, stay safe.